Hello and welcome to Adventures in Venueland, an EVMC podcast. Join us for this all-access pass backstage and behind the scenes with some of the brightest minds that cross the scope of the live event industry. I'm Dave Rettelberger.
And I'm Paul Hooper. We'll introduce you to incredible guests who journey with us as we dive deep into the world of venues, tours, festivals, and everything in between. Grab your laminate and meet us in Venueland.
Today's adventure takes us to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're talking with a woman who's passionate about her experience, and she's a great leader in the live entertainment, attractions, and immersive experiences. From marketing to ticketing, she's done it all, and we're excited to talk to her about her current role as Director of Group Sales for the Sphere Entertainment Company. Please welcome Courtney Payne.
Hi, Dave. Paul, how are you?
Good. You know, when a new building opens up, it could be the Moody Center. It could be Climate Pledge Arena. You know, we've all been there when our building is the bright and shiny new kid on the block. But I've never seen any type of global buzz that we're experiencing right now. That I'm sure you're living in it every day. The Sphere Entertainment Company, for somebody who's crawling out under their rock, talk to us about what's happening there in Las Vegas.
It's been absolutely incredible. We knew that when we turned on Sphere, it would create a buzz, but to the extent that we've gotten globally, as you said, it has just been incredible. We went from 0 to 100 and it has not stopped. We are just running 1,000,000 miles an hour and just trying to get this venue open in, I believe, less than 60 days at this point. So yes,
it's coming.
December 29th. Yes, we're really excited. So it's a wild ride so far.
For somebody who hasn't seen it, how would you describe? Is it just Sphere? It's not the Sphere, right? How do you describe Sphere?
That's correct. It is Sphere, and it is the world's largest LED display. And it's been an incredible debut to show Las Vegas, the newest icon on the Strip, and show the world, you know, what we're about to bring to the entertainment space, being a 22nd century technology, as we like to say, bringing the immersive entertainment to a new level.
When you look at it, it's just absolutely just breathtaking from a venue perspective. And what is it like on the inside? Are there how many seats are we looking at? What's the venue like on the inside? Does it have a hot dog stand?
Yeah, so we will actually have about anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 seats. So it depends on the setup. It's actually a flexible venue, which is really cool. We have retractable seating on the floor. So depending on the artist or the show or the experience that we're putting in, we can actually change the venue setup. So there can be floor GA standing room only. There can be floor seating all the way through. There are 10,000 immersive haptic seats with infrared technology. So it's creating a 4D experience, which is absolutely incredible. And you're going to feel what you're experiencing, what you're hearing. And that is just something that is going to take it to the next level again, with what we're trying to do with this immersive, taking people to places they may never get to go to and just experiencing entertainment in a new way.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to describe it. Like whenever I've talked to just people in passing, or I saw like a video on social or something, like, oh my gosh, did you all see the Sphere or, Sphere in Vegas? And it's hard to describe because to me, and I'm sure you all, you're hitting on this, it's not really like any other venue I can think of. It's not an arena. It's not a stadium. It's not, maybe closest to like a performing arts center, right? And in the seating, but even that, like you said, it's so immersive that it's really not like that. So it's kind of like such a unique like one of a kind venue. And I think Vegas, I mean, that's like the perfect place for it. I don't know if you could, premiere this in any other city. In Vegas, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. You go to these Cirque shows that are immersive. You go to these other shows there that, like, Vegas is all about that experience and taking it to the next level, and not just having, an artist on stage, but having performers all around, or having the whole theater kind of themed out after the event. So I think, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of at a loss for words, but I think one of the awesome things about it is, unlike a lot of these other buildings like Dave hit on, there are these new arenas or new stadiums or whatever that are unveiling, there's like a little tease leading up to that opening, but really they're kind of like doors shut until we're ready to open them. Whereas you can be working on tons of stuff behind the scenes inside. But then you have this just incredible round billboard essentially on the outside that as soon as you got that up and running, it's like it's like instantly are building buzz, even though you're not going to be open for a little bit. Like you said, it's just like you can go on and flick those lights on and just let the world gasp and awe until you're ready to open the doors.
Exactly. That's exactly what we were intending to do, is just give people a little taste, a little bit of what to expect. And then, once we are done testing, because believe it or not, what we're doing right now is just our testing phase. So this is not even like full blown. This is not even everything that we have planned for Sphere on the outside, let alone the inside. And actually, one of the things that you talked about with being able to describe it as, a venue or a stadium or a arena, theater style, the common misconception with Sphere is that it's in the round, and it actually is not. It is a theater style setup, and the stage is part of what we are showing. But the biggest thing about Sphere is the media plane inside. That is the second largest LED display. So first being the outside, and the second being on the inside, that is going to wrap up and around the audience and give you this, I call it a 360 view. It's like a 180 view, really. But you're fully seeing everything around you and above you, and feeling completely immersed in what is on that media plane. And that can be anything from, scenes that are created from our creative team that they're developing, like similar to what you're seeing on the outside. It can be anything that the artist wants to put on the screen and work with our production team to create. It can be art, it can be true live filming, like we're doing with our Big Sky camera. That was a 18K resolution camera that is a first of its kind again, and something that we've taken out around the world. Again, I know we're doing it all first. So we're taking that out around the world to film for our premiere Sphere experience, which will be Darren Aronofsky's Postcard from Earth. That is our debut.
More about that. What is that?
So that is like I said, our premiere Sphere experience, and it is still in production. So we're still getting some more details to share soon, but it is really going to be a breathtaking adventure, taking you, like I said, around the world into outer space, and showing us the unique perspective of beauty of life on Earth. And we're really excited to share that with you. Darren Aronofsky being an Academy Award nominated director and producer. Very excited to get his new film cinematic production at Sphere.
I think that allows a lot of flexibility, that you all can have something like a concert, which I know you all have U2, right, coming. Yes. I forget the dates, but like, a little Irish band that a couple people have probably heard of, but
a small one.
Yeah, a little small one. But like having a performance from U2 and having some sort of giant experience for that. But then you can also do something that's less like performer based and more visual based, almost like you would, on a much larger scale, but something you would maybe see at like an OmniMax theater, or something that is just a really like, focusing on the screen and the experience and putting you into that moment. And the seat thing you mentioned is wild. And I think I saw something on your social too about like the audio, like it's got this crazy audio system that's like interwoven into the LEDs on the inside where it kind of pinpoints every single seat. I mean, it's got to be a really fun thing for your all's production team and, video design team to kind of play with. I mean, they're not messing with something that anyone has ever done before. So I'm sure it's very much like sandbox for them where they're like, what do we want to put on it? What can we do? This is a round surface, which we're not used to working with. It's got to be just a crazy toy box.
The creativity that they are bringing to the table is unlike anything I've seen. I'm just blown away every day. I see something new that they are working on, and it's just incredible. And, not having a venue, anything like this, we actually created what we call Big Dome in our Sphere Studios in Burbank, California. And that is about a quarter size of the actual Sphere in Las Vegas. And it is a replica, essentially, so that we can program and test and do what the inside is going to be, as well as obviously now that we've built out everything on the inside, pretty much we're, close to being done there and putting the seats in, et cetera. So we're able to test, in the actual venue, but this will allow us to continue testing and creating, and artists can go to that studio and work with a production team to create.
That's so cool.
In person there at our studio in Burbank. So it is just beyond anything you can imagine. And we're so excited for what's to come and what they're going to come up with, and really can't believe I'm part of it.
In our many years at EAMC, we're out in Vegas not too long ago. So for people listening who are familiar with the Strip, where is the Sphere located?
Yeah, so we're located right behind the Venetian and Palazzo, and we are on Sands Avenue. So right there on the corner of Sands and Koval.
And then where are your offices? Where do you work from most days?
So we have offices on location as well as next door. So we have a few different offices just depending on kind of where you are in the production side.
Tell us about your role. What is your role as director of group sales? What do you do there on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so I have a team that I am building to sell anything that is 10 or more tickets for Sphere, specifically for our Sphere experiences, and eventually for our venue tours when we have those. And that allows us to, get creative and do more than just, tickets, because we have such a beautiful venue. We're able to add on experiences like a private event or a cocktail hour or reception. We have beautiful event spaces that we can use. So I work with my colleague, who's our director of special events, to put together our group tickets as well as our special events and combine that. We can do full buyouts of the theater. We can do full buyouts of our show, our Sphere experience. We can do, keynote speakers, that type of thing. So we all work together. We also have 23 VIP premium suites that we are selling as well. And we have a premium hospitality team that handles that. So we all work together to get groups and get our guests the type of experience that they want for conventions, for trade shows, for a leisure group, social group. It can be anything from 10 to 20,000. It really just depends on kind of what you're looking for. We can do it.
I think a lot of arena people probably have some functionality of group sales, but group sales in Vegas it's got to be like another beast. It's like, I think people, when they go to Vegas, they see that there's just always these different rates for different shows, different venues. If you've got a big group, what is that like doing what you do in that type of market? I'm sure it's competitive, but that's an exciting thing. But you also have so many people that are traveling there, visiting. I'm sure you're marketing really beyond the city, because so much of your attendees are going to be from all over the world, really. And especially with a brand new building like this, you're going to have, like, Lord knows how long of a honeymoon period with it, where you'll just have people flying in like for that venue. So, what's that like doing group sales in a city like Vegas?
Well, Vegas is built on partnerships and relationships. And so my first and foremost project and goal that I set out to do was to connect with all of our amazing hotels that are on the strip, all of our destination management companies, tour operators, et cetera, and really reach out to the community, let them know what we were doing, create special rates just for them that we could use for groups so that they would, get invested and get excited about the project, being able to, have them come in and experience it once we're open and just really get the city behind the venue, because we are for the city. We're a venue that is going to bring people in just for Sphere, just for a U2 concert or a Sphere experience or a boxing match or whatever it is that we're doing. We know that we're going to be, bringing new people in, plus attracting people to come that were already in Las Vegas. So we're trying to do both. We're trying to get new people into the city as well, and working with the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority to, get people excited on a global level, let them know what we're going to be and how they can work with us, as well as like partners, like to be able to do branding. And so say,
Right.
CES comes into town and they want to buy the exterior, which is called the Exosphere, and they want to brand that for the week. Like we can do that for them. Or maybe Toyota comes in and they want to do something because they're doing, they're attending a conference and they want to brand Sphere. It's visible from about 12,000 hotel rooms currently. And
Wow.
yeah, and then all around the strip, you can see it all the way from the airport. You can see it from an airplane. So there's a lot that we can do, not just with our, partners locally, but partners that are coming into town and want to make a splash and make a headline at Sphere.
I think Dave and I would like to rent 2 seconds of the Exosphere. I don't know how that can be prorated, but we just need just enough time to get one photo of it, and then that'll be enough.
Yeah. Right? I think we all have. People are asking, like, can we do wedding proposals? Oh, like, do you have millions of dollars? No.
Yeah, exactly. How much do you love that person? Yeah,
I know, right?
So, Courtney, obviously, when you're reaching out to the city and the hotels, they're used to somebody coming to them. Hey, we got Donnie and Marie at the Golden Nugget. What can we do to partner? I'm guessing they were very receptive to your pitch, and they took your calls on this one.
Absolutely. I've never had an easy or open door to getting to want people to talk to me than saying, hi, I'm with Sphere and I wanted to share more about what we're doing.
That's like a great feeling.
They were like, yes, sign us up tomorrow. Like we want to hear from you. So yes, that has been actually a lot easier probably than other roles that I've had in the past where you really have to grind it out. I mean, we're still grinding, but it is a little less when you have such an amazing venue.
It helps open that door a little bit, start the conversation a little easier. What's it like in person? We've seen it, all over social. And by the way, if you haven't seen it, pause the podcast, go to thespherevegas.com, right? That's the website. And just take a look at the little splash page there. It's literally breathtaking just to watch this.
Or just look anywhere on the Instagram app and you'll find 100 videos of basketballs bouncing and eyeballs blinking and all kinds of amazing visuals. Yeah.
But what's it like in person?
It is unlike anything I've ever experienced. I actually just saw over the weekend from a different angle over at the Wynn. I was visiting there and went up to the parking garage. We parked and walked over and I just was like, wow. Like every time I see it, even if I've seen it before, I am just blown away. It is breathtaking. Like it is just absolutely gorgeous. And I stood there in the 120 degree, just like filming it, just being like, I can't believe how incredible this is. It is huge, like absolutely huge. Like the size is massive and it is just gorgeous. I could stare at it for hours. Like it's just beautiful.
What's the best place to view it from, right? Because if you're you don't want to get dropped off at the front door, right? Isn't it? Is it? I mean, I'm sure it's pretty cool up close, but that first viewing is probably pretty cool from a distance.
And there's a train or tram or something that goes around it, right? Like a transport.
Yeah. The monorail, the Las Vegas monorail does go right by it. So that's a great way to see it. Any hotel room on that side, on the east side of Venetian Palazzo. So highly recommend booking a room there. and checking out. You're going to see it when you land in a plane. You're going to see it driving by. Like I said, the Wynn parking garage was a great viewing point. That's a little tip if anybody wants to go up to the Wynn parking garage, but you can see it from several different places. So the best vantage point is a couple 100 feet away. So it's a 2K resolution on the exterior. So that's best seen from a little bit further away. As you get closer, you're going to start to see kind of those individual pixels, because actually those pixels on the outside, or the LED on the outside, is individual pucks of LED. Sure. So it is actually really easy to switch them out, replace them if they go out. So, we have
an LED board here outside the arena, and somebody's up on a ladder once a week fixing pieces of it, but it's not even close to this. So
yeah, I would not want to go up there. My colleagues have gone up to the top, and I'm like, no, I'm good. No, thank you. I don't need to be
afraid to slide on one direction. I think it's. I mean, it. Oh man, it really is.
We're fangirling. We're
totally fan. Oh yeah, totally. Like, and it helps that I'm looking at your Zoom background right now, and so I can literally, like, I'm staring over your shoulder at the sphere, and I'm just like, wow, that's just so. I don't know. It's just pretty. It's pretty wild. I can't.
It's iconic.
We've about it for years.
It really is, and I love that. Like, and you mentioned this, that beyond any events that are in there, it really allows you to be a part of the city. Like, even with the NBA Summer League, which I think was kind of this big unveiling where a lot of people saw it maybe for the first time. There's content on there where it looks like a giant basketball that's got the logo on it. There's content where there's basketballs bouncing around it. Like, it's something where even if it's not an event or something you all have, the fact that you can plug in with the CVB or with whatever's going on and almost help from the city side, feel like the city is welcoming whatever's going on. I think it's just so unique. It's not there's just nothing like that anywhere else, where you have just this insane, massive round billboard essentially that's digital and can be just changed. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure every city would love to have something like that where they can just, roll out the carpet to whatever is happening.
Yes, we love that. And, a lot of people are concerned about the advertising and think of it as a billboard, and how is that going to look? And just from what you said with the partnership with NBA and being able to do that with Summer League, you saw what it was. It was beautiful content. It was bouncing basketballs. Absolutely. It was spinning basketball. It was all kinds of really cool creative stuff. So, the content that's being created for our partners when they are doing any type of advertising, quote unquote, will be custom created specifically for Sphere. There's no other way to do it. We can't just slap up, a Super Bowl ad that they ran, right. during Super Bowl and just say, oh, here's Bud Light. We can't do, it's going to have to be custom created content. So don't worry, it's still going to be gorgeous, and it's not going to feel like you're being advertised to.
Courtney, tell us a little bit about your ownership structure. Who's behind this? What's your company like?
So Madison Square Garden is actually our parent company. James Dolan, who is the CEO, he is the CEO of Sphere Entertainment. So we are all connected. That was probably the most exciting part for me initially, obviously being here in Las Vegas and seeing and hearing about the Sphere for so long, knowing that Madison Square Garden was the parent company is what really kind of sealed the deal for me to make this move and to join this team, because Madison Square Garden is just the best of the best, as we say, the world's greatest stages are Madison Square Garden stages. So
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. They've been doing it for a long time, and being part of this well-oiled machine, we're kind of a startup within a big, structure or organization that has been around for a long time. So we have the benefit of this institutional knowledge and these people who have worked, with MSG for a long time. And then also all of our Las Vegas institutional knowledge that we have on this side of things, how we do things differently, and bringing that together has just been an incredible experience. I've learned so much in such a short period of time. And I'm so happy to continue to learn and grow from these colleagues that are just world class.
I want to hear how you got to where you're at today. But to do that, we got to kind of go back to, I don't know, about 20 years ago. You're a freshman at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Were you studying entertainment management, theater production to begin with? Was that originally your plan as you started college?
Funny enough, no, I was actually going for a music major because I was very much into musical theater and music and thought I'd be an amazing performer. And quickly before I started that, I actually switched to the hospitality college because I thought, I don't think this is not for me. I'm not going to make it. So I decided quickly I wanted to be behind the scenes, and so transferred over to hospitality college, and then ended up with that dual kind of major in entertainment and theater, and it was incredible.
So what got you then into kind of wanting to do live events?
Well, my professor in one of my classes was called Hotel Entertainment, and he was actually a show producer, owned theater on the Strip, and had several shows. And he told me, or told the class, hey, I pay commission to these concierge who sell my tickets, and I'm paying them, $20 a ticket. And the college student in me, who's poor and needed a job, said, you're paying how much per ticket? So I quickly was like, hey, what was that company name? And I went and applied, and that company that's still around today, selling tickets, that I started off selling tickets on the Strip for shows at a box office. So box office / concierge type job that I had in college, and thought, this is a lot better than, being a hostess at a restaurant or anything like that. This is what I want to do. And that created my instant love of ticketing and the, kind of behind the scenes of what was going on. And I did that throughout college, and then kind of scaled it from there.
So you graduate, and then do you remember your first big job out of college?
Yeah. So that same professor who was that show producer, I went to him and said, hey, you inspired me. What do you think? You want to hire me on? And he's like, sure, yeah, you can be the sales and promotions manager. I'm like, okay, well, let's do that. Sounds good. Never in my life had I done anything with promotions. Never in my life had I, really done a true sales job in the sense I was, a lot more like concierge, inside sales, ticket box office rep type thing. So he hired me to do that, and that just kind of started the whole thing. And I went on to really, like I said, dive into the ticketing side of things. I got really into the ticketing system and the box office and how that was being managed, and ended up overseeing that and expanding in my sales role, and took on marketing and all of those things. So it just kind of grew organically as I was learning more and more about the business and what everything that goes into putting on an entertainment production in Las Vegas. It just, I started being a jack of all trades, because you kind of have to wear many hats, especially when you're working for a small production company, which, even as they grow, your teams don't always grow. So I've been wearing many hats in most of my roles. So that has really gotten me where I am today. And I think it's really fun to look back at the path that got me here, and where I'm going to end up is still unknown. And it's just an incredible journey.
I think sometimes having those challenging jobs, like you mentioned, you're not like working for this huge, it was a great job, but it was something where you had to like boots on the ground, grind it out, wear all these hats, didn't have enough staff. It's in the moment, you're like, oh my gosh, you're pulling your hair out. But then I think, fast forward 10 years, you're in your role now at Sphere, and that's incredible. But it's one of those things that I think it gives you a better appreciation for that grind, and I think some people, maybe when they jump ahead, or they, get a job at a business where maybe they don't have that challenge, once they hit a hiccup, it's hard for them to understand how to deal with that, because they maybe haven't had those challenges in the past. So it's hard to, figure out how to solve solutions like that. Whereas when you're working for, a smaller company, it's like, here's what we can do and here's what we can't do. And this is, like, there's no use in overstressing. Like, we got to fix it. We got to roll with it. I think it really gives you this wide range of knowledge on problem solving and, working really hard. And I'm sure that was extremely valuable, throughout as you grew.
very much so. And being able to be the person to implement my ideas or come up with solutions for issues and problems that we were having, whatever reason, like to take that to, the CEO of that small company and say, hey, I have a solution for this. Like, and him saying, yeah, run with it. Go find us a new ticketing system, because working in Excel and, a notepad is really not the best way to be doing ticket reservations. Like, good point. So, doing RFPs for a ticketing system at, 24 years old is just like something that is, like you said, invaluable.
You spend a year, at Tropicana working, as a box office manager and interim entertainment manager. What do you take from that experience that you still use today?
We ended up taking the theater from being on an older system to the Ticketmaster system. That switch happened. So having to go in and really learn a whole new system kind of off the bat and then transfer everything over was, how long does this process take, and what are the steps, and what are the standard operating procedures that we need to put into place when this type of thing happens? What happens when tickets go offline? What happens when the show gets canceled and you have a million, guests who are furious because Gladys Knight, is sick and she can't perform, and, what do we do? It's the problem solving right there on the spot. And managing a team. I really had managed a smaller team in previous role, and going over to the box office there at Tropicana, I was managing about a team of 10, and some of them were part-time. And, being a younger woman, it was just like, here you go, like, learn as you go. And I learned to just jump in feet first and figure it out. Yeah. Like I said, on the job training.
You spent a number of years at Travel Zoo too, including a run through the pandemic. I'm guessing, in Vegas, right, there still was plenty of activity for Travel Zoo during this whole run.
Yes. So I, again, wanted to just kind of learn something different, take another side of what the entertainment business had to offer. So thought, hey, working on a partnership side of things could be really interesting. And yes, during the COVID shutdown, unfortunately, we had to scale down our staff quite a bit. So I ended up taking on more of our local restaurants and spas and that type of local activity, which was actually, again, a new experience, something new for me to do. It was just kind of thrown in my lap, and it was like, here, take this on, because you already know how to do entertainment. So just do restaurants. I'm like, okay, sure. So again, getting to do something new and learning as I went. But, as these shows were able to reopen and we were able to get, bodies into the seats again, it was actually great, because partners were relying on us, or shows were relying on Travel Zoo to help them fill the seats, help people understand that they could come back to shows and get that word of mouth out there that, we were open. Vegas was open for business. So it actually was a, pretty good time, if you will, all things considered.
So from there, you went to a position that I think lined you up pretty well for this next gig. Tell me about the move from Travel Zoo to the Illuminarium.
Yes. So Illuminarium is an immersive experience, an immersive attraction that had opened in Atlanta and was opening at the Area 15 complex, which is basically like an immersive entertainment venue with lots of different attractions inside. So this was just something that sounded so cool to me, so interesting. I knew that this was the next thing in entertainment. We have our production shows, we have our concerts, we have our live residencies, like that's what it is. But immersive attractions was the next thing. So I said, I gotta be part of this. I gotta figure this out. And the company that I worked for was Legends Global Attractions, which was part of Legends Hospitality. You may know them from the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, the New York Yankees, etc. One World Observatory in New York. So they have several venues, and they were partnering with Illuminarium to bring Illuminarium to Atlanta as well as Las Vegas and beyond. So I just applied and I don't know, they called me. I don't know how it happened. It was one of those organic opportunities that I was really lucky and excited to take on a challenge. And same thing, like a startup environment within a larger corporation. So uniquely positioned me for this role that I have taken with Sphere, to start something from the ground up and build it and open a venue. And this is my third venue opening, and I've opened 50 something plus. I've lost count of how many shows I've opened, but venues, this is the third venue I've opened. So that experience in and of itself is just beyond words.
To people that have opened venues, you sound like a masochist, I think, because so many people are like, I will never open. Like, everyone's like, I want to open a venue one time in my career. And then after the first one, they're like, I don't want to open another venue anytime in my career.
And Paul, I'm doing this back to back, just so you're aware. I took one venue opening and then said, oh, you know what? Let's do another one immediately. I think my husband is like, he's the most supportive, amazing husband ever, because he just was like, yeah, sure, go do it. Live your best career. So here I am.
That does seem like kind of a through line through your career, though, is that you like these challenges. You know, you mentioned that you like coming in at the ground floor and being like, how do I help build this? How do I, you know, we're a small piece of a big puzzle. How do we increase our footprint? How do we carve our space? Is that something that you look for when you're kind of looking at that next step? Is it something that, you know, as you start to feel comfortable, you've always kind of found yourself like, I need another challenge? You know, is that something you identify in yourself?
Definitely, to some degree. I am the type to kind of stick where I am as well. I find in my career path that most venues or places that I've been at for 5+ years. Only in this last year did I kind of switch it up, just because, you know, an opportunity like this is once in a lifetime. So,
Sure.
But taking on, you know, new challenges within the role that I'm in, or finding a way to, you know, take that next step, next level up, whether that be, you know, a promotion or just a different department or something like that. Like, if I feel like I've given it my all and I've put in everything I've gotten and I've gotten everything out of it that I can, I definitely look for what to do next, because I still feel like I'm ambitious and young and passionate about what I do, and want to continue to grow. I'm not going to settle and not going to just rest back. And I'm not one of those people that can just be like, oh, I'm just going to collect a paycheck and, you know, whatever. I hope it works out, and I hope we sell a lot of tickets, and, you know, I'm comfortable. I'm not the type to just stay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that, you know, that leap that you made recently. So talk to us about the move then from Illuminarium to Sphere.
So Sphere posted for this role in December. I was just exiting Legends with Illuminarium, and it was perfect timing. I got to take a little break, got to recharge my batteries, enjoy the holidays, visit my family, and then jump into what Sphere was going to be hitting the ground running in January. So it was a little bit of a break that I definitely needed after opening a venue. Anybody who's opened a venue can speak to this, that it was an exhausting 1.5 years. So I needed a break, and I'm glad I gave it to myself and said, you know, time to take a step back and then see what was next for my journey and a new challenge, as you said. So yeah, when I saw this get posted, I just said, I got to do it. This is where I got to be.
I don't know what's next for you. Maybe you'll like if they open some sort of venue on the moon or some sort of floating satellite, you know, something that's orbiting Earth, then you can be like, okay, that's not, you know, how do you move up from Sphere? You know, maybe
I don't know
that's
that
the next level.
I don't know that you can. I don't know that I will. Right? Like I love this company. I love the Madison Square Garden company and the Sphere Entertainment Company. Like, I hope I'm here for the rest of my career, whether that be in group tickets or beyond. Maybe this is where I will stay, because like you said, I don't know how I'm going to top this. but maybe I'll try.
Well, we've heard plenty about you and your adventures in this industry, but Courtney, who are you outside of work? Once you get away, you mentioned your husband. What do you get to do outside of the office?
Well, I love entertainment. So I am that concert goer. I am the musical theater lover. So I try to support the arts whenever possible, festival, concerts. We love to travel. My husband and I love to see the world. So most recently, Bali, previous to that was the Maldives right after leaving Illuminarium. So, again, just having the opportunity to travel and see the world. And spend time with our 3 cats. We have three fur babies here at home.
What are the names?
Twix, Mars, and Monkey.
I see almost a theme.
Yes,
Monkey's the offshoot.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. Well, hey, before we wrap things up here today, I want to hit you with our Fast 5. It's 5 quick questions. Just looking for your quick instant response. First up, do you remember your very first concert?
New Kids on the Block.
How about your favorite concert of all time?
Boys to Men, hands down.
Wow. What is your musical theater dream role? So you get to go back in the theater. You're on stage. Who are you playing? I know you got one.
This will probably be funny. In the Sphere too. Imagine it's an immersive theater experience.
This one's gonna make you laugh. Ado Annie from Oklahoma. Yeah. It's my favorite musical. I know it's out there and crazy, but that's it.
I was in Oklahoma in high school. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Me too, but I was not her. So maybe next time.
Yeah, I was just a backup dancer. All right. So just for not from a sales perspective, but from a personal perspective, who is on your Sphere bucket list? Who would you love to see do a show at Sphere?
I've been saying Beyonce. I just feel like Beyonce would be incredible.
Absolutely. Last question. What is your theme song? So there's a TV show all about your life. Courtney cameras follow you around all the time. What is the song that plays over the opening credits of the Courtney Payne show?
That is incredibly hard to answer.
I'd like to give you at least one hard question.
The song that keeps popping in my head, even though it is not a song that I love or really feel like is my theme song, but it's popping in my head, is Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
There you go.
That one just is sticking out to me for whatever reason, if it's just what came to mind, but
it's calling to you at the moment.
It's very indicative of your career. You're believing and pursuing the next level,
That's must be where it's coming from, because
and also not stopping.
Yeah, not stopping.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. So we're gonna go with that one.
Courtney, I appreciate you sharing and listening to us geek out as we talk through your adventures and your current place of business. Where can people find you? Where can people follow along with what's happening at Sphere?
You can follow me on LinkedIn at Courtland512. Also, same on Instagram at Courtland512. If you want to follow me there, you can follow Sphere at Sphere Vegas on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. If it's on the internet, you'll find us.
There you go. And the spherevegas.com is the website too. Definitely. You got to check it out. Very cool stuff. Hey, I know you're very busy. Best of luck there with the opening. And we appreciate you taking the time to check in with us today.
Thank you so much.
And a big thanks to everybody for listening to this episode of Adventures in Venueland. Remember, you can subscribe and find more episodes wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We do love your 5-star reviews. It helps others find us. Until the next adventure, I'm Dave Rettelberger.
And I'm Paul Hooper. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be in touch about reserving that millisecond of the exosphere.
Exosphere.
Adventures in Venueland is a side project of the Event and Venue Marketing Conference, a marketing conference that brings together diversified event and venue professionals to cultivate education, collaboration, and innovation for the growing sports and live entertainment industry. Find out more at eventvenuemarketing.com.
Audio editing and mixing by Camille Faulkner.
Design and digital advertising by Megan Ebeg.
Copywriting and publicity by Samantha Marker.
Guest booking and brand strategies by Paul Hooper.
Guest research by Dave Rettelberger.
Marketing strategies by Paul Hooper, Megan Ebeg, and Samantha Marker. Thanks for joining us. Until the next adventure.